This is a follow-up to the video you see on my screen here, which is about Obama and the Antichrist being revealed in the movie Leave the World Behind. The majority of the information is in the first one, so please go watch that, as this one really won't stand alone. But I did notice some additional details I wanted to include. When GH is at his neighbor's house, the Huxley house, and he's about to go inside, he's texting his wife, who he had previously said she was on a work trip in Morocco. And here's his text message where he's asking if flight AT200 is the right flight. That was the flight that she was supposed to be on. Flight AT200 goes from Casablanca, Morocco, to New York. As we know, this movie is based in New York. Casablanca is translated from Spanish to English as White House. So she's coming from the White House, and she never actually shows up in the movie. They think her plane crashed, but she's coming from the White House. Another clue that this guy actually represents Obama. And next we're going to look at another example of how he also has a lot in common with the Antichrist. In the first video about the Antichrist, I talked about how where Ruth says we live on the 14th floor and he can't climb 14 flights because of his knee. She's talking about her dad, GH, this guy, and how that 14 floor, 14 flights compares to Isaiah chapter 14, verse 14, where Lucifer, also known as Satan or the Antichrist, is trying to reach or ascend to the height of the Most High God. So please go see the first video for more on this comparison. But there was a second comparison to the same chapter, Isaiah chapter 14, that I didn't include the first time around. So let's talk about that now. Obama's production company is called Higher Ground. Google it, and his logo is Higher Ground. That also compares to Isaiah chapter 14, where Lucifer, it's about Lucifer trying to exalt himself to be like God. So verse 13, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will also sit on the mount of the congregation on the farthest side of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High, or get to higher ground. Those familiar with the Old Testament are familiar with this term, high places. It's a constant theme. Kings were often described as either they did take down the high places and that was a good thing, or they didn't remove the high places and that was a bad thing. And you can see just a couple of examples here, but it's as I said, a constant theme in the Old Testament. So higher ground, a place that Satan is trying to get to, and a constant theme in the Old Testament, or a place that was supposed to be removed. Let's not forget that Isaiah chapter 14 is actually about the fall of Lucifer, and verse 15 says, yet you shall be brought down to Sheol, to the lowest depths of the pit. So just a couple more things I didn't see the first time around and wanted to include.